Hey yo. Hey, sorry about that. Was just waiting for people to jump in, and right now we only got one person watching, so ran in to grab my phone charger. Since I might go a little bit longer than 15 minutes tonight, and anyway, just wanted to wait for a decent amount of people to jump in before I get to the meat of my content. But anyway. So, a little more prepared tonight. I've got the tripod and the selfie, uh, we'll call it the do-it-yourself selfie stick. I've got a cell phone holder that mounts to a tripod, so we got that. There should be more. Hey, yeah, Joe. I'm waiting. So, anyway, I'm gonna try to figure out the best place to throw my phone charger, I guess, so it's within reach of the Fairmont. I don't know, but anyway. Well, hey guys, welcome to the live stream. My name's Grant Tommy. This is my channel, Straight Six Fan. We're out in the garage again. Trying to give you a quick update on the Fairmont midweek. These Tuesday live streams have been kind of working out nice, where I can kind of tease what I'm going to be working on this coming weekend. But this is my channel, Straight Six Fan, and if this is your first time watching, I like to focus on what I like to call offbeat hot rodding, which is the focus on budget-minded, creative, relatable builds. And I think what's behind me is exactly checks all those boxes. Budget-minded because it was only $1,800 when I picked it up. Creative because it's a little not mainstream, and relatable because if I can do it, you guys can do it. But so this week, just last night, actually, I started tearing the carpet out. Got the back seat pulled out, and that's pretty slick. You just really you push down on the seat and back, and it comes out of these clips. Can't really tell you how, but it did. Was pretty straightforward. But yeah, I cannot wait to get this carpet out here. I mean, just of course, you can see kind of how gross and nasty it is. I don't know if like a possum died here on the, the trans tunnel. I've got both. You knew if you've been following along, you know I've got the passenger seat headed out for a while. But yeah, that carpet. The carpet's always been kind of gross, or been pulling away. So there's a tear there. So that needs to go. But yeah, got the driver's seat out too. Like I said, can't wait to get this out of here. It's just in the possum joke, I can't take full credit for. I got that one from my older brother on his Nova project. He said something along the lines of, "Did a possum give birth or a raccoon give birth on the seat or something?" But anyway, that's where that comes from. But yeah, and then if you haven't seen my headliner episode, there it is. But let's talk a little bit about this goof up where I believe I had too much. Someone had 100 parties on the carpet. I think I figured out how this exactly happened, and that was if you watched my headliner video, I did half and half, and I believe I did the first half first, and this would have been the first half. But towards the end, when I started losing my patience, I just started dumping my contact cement out of my drip pan, straight out of the can onto the headliner. And I think what happened was when I had the back half rolled up on top of this, I think this would have been a spot where I just poured straight on the headliner, and I think that's where I'm getting a lot of these is from that. But again, you know, the purpose of this build has always been to like, this is a low stakes. Hey, Twisted R, welcome to the show. this is a low stakes project, and if I'm going to learn lessons, just learn lessons and let it be on this, not anything higher profile. So, anyway, so that's that. What's holding me up right now on the next step on the carpet is I don't have the proper Torx bit for these guys for my seat belts. So I ordered one on Amazon. I believe it's a T55 or T5. I don't. Anyway, somebody also recommended there's like a T45P, which is like supposed to have a little better positive contact. So that's what I ordered. So hopefully that shows up tomorrow because of Prime. Prime is awesome. So yeah, that should help me out quite a bit in that regard. So yeah, let me switch the camera back around here. So anyway, that shouldn't take too long to get this carpet out. And once I do, let me get this situated for a second, my tripod. Once I do get the carpet out, before I just go about, here, let's see if we can do this one better. Try to figure out. There we go. There's where my camera is. Okay, just trying to look at the lens and not the screen, which is really hard. But before I just get all gung-ho about replacing put the new carpet in, once I get the old one out, I want to just side by side do a comparison just to see, because ACC on their box has a big disclaimer about make sure you sort of test fit before you cut, because you can't return the carpet that doesn't fit after you've already made cuts on it, right? So that makes sense. I don't expect to have any problems, really, because I think ACC is such a reputable brand, but, you know, measure twice, cut once kind of thing, so just, and then it's also going to give me a chance to project maybe where some of the holes might want to be. Hey, Doug Sweener's in the house. Cool, man. I'm going to, I also want to show you guys where I've pulled there's two things I want to show you where I pulled the carpet back a little bit. Just some things I've discovered. Two things I think are pretty cool. So let's switch that camera again. So first off, pulling this back, there's taped to the tunnel is like some foam. like I don't know what this is, but it's obviously like the factory threw in an extra goodie for what? I don't know. I really don't know what the purpose of it is, but I think it's kind of cool. Like for 40 years, that's just been buried under there. And then the second thing I want to show you guys is just look at these floor pans, man. Like they are in such good shape. The more and more I dig into this car, the more and more I'm just like, man, I got so lucky on just holding out for a good project car. This is some sort of sound deadening. It feels like it's sort of like the Dynamat stuff, which by the way, I bought like a knockoff. I believe it's Noico, Noico. I'm gonna do a sound deadener on these floor pans before I do the carpet. So that's showing up with the Torx bit as well from Prime. But that brings me to another topic. Flip the camera again. So, I just pinched my finger in the tripod, so that hurt pretty. That was pretty awesome. Sorry about that. So, so this is a little bit of a, we'll call it an appendix or addendum or amendment to the budget episode, to the project build. So the Noico. So I bought that stuff on Amazon Prime and the socket wrench with So what's not gonna count against my budget is if I have a gift card for something. So I actually had an Amazon gift card, and this was from my Amazon Associates affiliate links. I made like $14 in over the course of months, but I have it set up to where I get paid out in Amazon gift cards. So I was able to justify spending the extra, it was only $30 for this Noiko mat, um, and not really taxing the budget hard because I used a gift card, Amazon gift card, and then my Discover card, I get cash back. My cash back bonuses roll into my Amazon account. So this is money that's not coming directly on my pocket. So instead of spending $29.99 in tax on the sound deadening material for under the carpet, I only spent like $15 after I used those two resources. So anyway, so things that aren't going to, these are like extra like clauses, I guess you'd say, for what counts against the budget, what doesn't. So again, gift cards don't count towards my it's not money on my pocket. Um, Cashback bonus for my Discover card, and then scrapyard. So like when I take the rear end off of this car, like nobody's gonna want to buy that. I'm not gonna spend the time trying to sell that on Craigslist. Nobody wants a 4-lug bolt pattern 7.5-inch Ford rear end with 247 gears in it. So things like, and then when I do the head swap, so the heads in the rear end, I'm just gonna take that to the scrapyard. So that money. Uh, Hey Brian, what's going on? So that money I'm gonna roll back into the project. And sorry, I'm reading comments here. And I think was it Craig Durbin or Doug Sweener? Sorry, it just vanished. Somebody's asking about the Redbeard's Garage meetup. It's really exciting to watch all of the videos starting to come through. So I haven't seen everybody's version of that weekend. That looked like a lot of fun. So no, I haven't necessarily checked yours specifically out, but I am looking forward to that. So again, um, whatever the heads that I take off this thing, and whatever I can take to the scrapyard from this project, that money's going to roll back into my budget. So that's going to help me again not spend more than $4,000 out of my own pocket, but whatever the project might give back. Aha, Doug Sweener. It was Doug Sweener. New comment popped up. So the other thing that's going to add back to the budget, really excited about this, you guys, is 22 cents. This project has given me 22 cents out of cleaning the interior. So, I mean, I actually am going to roll that back into the project budget. Not that I really expect it's going to make a huge difference, but that is this project giving money back to me. So, anyway, so those are the three things I kind of wanted to amend the project budget episode about. So, I think it's fair though. Good news too, the heads, the GT40 heads, that was my thumbnail, my intermediate thumbnail for the time being. So back there, Twisted R, I will answer your question in a second here. But, I found a buyer for those, so I'm going to sell those, get my money back out of those, and hopefully be able to go to that machine shop and buy a used set off of that guy for cheaper, and then get a set of GT40 heads on this thing for a lot cheaper than what I was projecting out of. Yes, Doug, it is a C4 transmission on this. But Twisted R, no, I have not changed the sprocket yet. I have not put the tensioner. That's my focus right now is on this car. I did, however, set a date with my older brother. If you haven't seen that video of his go-kart, he built out of a wheelbarrow. He's got a Predator motor on that thing. It's pretty fast. We have set up a weekend in October to race our 2 go-karts. So I will have, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to switch back to the Rat Rod Radio Flyer and put new tires on it, you know, as I blew out tires, and then I will switch around the chain tensioner then. So yes, I will be working on that here before long. Hey, there's some more light. Let's see if I can't. See if I can't get better lighting in here for you guys. Let's see if I can soften up my face a little bit here. There we go. That's pretty good. I'm excited. Thursday is when I'm supposed to meet the guy to sell those heads, and I am going to make my money right back out of it. I actually listed them for higher than what I paid for them, and it wasn't because I don't believe in trying to take advantage of people like that, like flip I did nothing to those and was going to try to sell that for more money than what I bought it for. It'd be different if I cleaned those up or something, like, sure. But I listed them higher than the 300 I paid for them. I listed them um, for a couple more bucks. And the thought was that most people usually want to try to talk you down on something. So I just wanted to make sure I made my 300 back. Now, they were at $317. Started at 325, and I just started, each week they didn't sell. I was dropping by $8. Um, I was gonna this morning. I was opening up my ad to drop it to $309 when somebody actually contacted me, said they were interested in. But I do have to drive way out of my way to deliver them, so I may actually sell those for $309 because I believe that extra $9 is going to make up basically my gas money. So next interview, a good question, Doug Sweener. I just figured out my next subject for my Know Your Neighbors, and that will likely be a week from Friday. And we are going to be interviewing Po Boys Diesel. Will be the channel that we highlight, and so pretty excited. I think he's going to be a good interview for a couple different reasons. He has a good energy to himself for one. So get a 4.6 liter from JC. Yeah, I don't know. The strut towers on these Fox bodies. There's actually a 3-valve 4.6 liter swap in a Fairmont out there. You can YouTube that. I think it's some speed shop down in Texas that did this, and it is pretty wicked. I mean, those 3 valves sound awesome, but you really have to massage the strut tower braces pretty well just to fit them, literally fit them in a Fox body. So that's actually beyond my. I don't have the time nor the space to pull something like that off. So that's again why I'm sticking with. It's already a 302 car, so my thought process with this build too is like I want to prove to people like you can find these cars, and like a lot of these 70s cars, odd bodies as I call them, 73 to 79, already had V8s. It's just they lowered the compression to them. So I'm just trying to like show examples to people like how you can potentially wake them up. And so again, it's so that it's that's the relatable part of offbeat hot rodding, is so that people who don't have a ton of resources, maybe they're a driveway mechanic, shade tree mechanic, want them to have an opportunity to relate and say, hey, I can do that. Like, I don't need a whole lot of space to do that. And that's the appeal of the head swaps. It's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I've never dove into a motor that deep, but it's also not going to the step like a camshaft where you really have to get in the motor, take off the same amount of parts, but then take off more. So and as I, again, like, so my goal with these is to do a different build each summer and flip these cars. And that way I can do more of a variety of projects, and I can, maybe in the next one I'm more comfortable to do something like a camshaft. But for starters, for this initial inaugural project, we're keeping it simple. But that's not to say I haven't considered, my boy Cat Loco. He It's car you do not a lot of with a 302 in it. I don't know if I quite understand that comment, Doug. But like, so the 4.6 liters, the reason why they don't fit versus a 302. So the 302 here is a push rod motor, whereas the 4.6 is a dual overhead cam. Well, some are 4 valves, some are 3 valves, and some are 2 valves. Like the 3 valves is single overhead cam. But anyway, their valve covers in their heads are so much wider on the 4.6 than the 5.0s. So again, that's the reason why I'm sticking with the current setup. And hey, welcome, Jason. It's good seeing you here. So thanks for stopping by. So yeah, there's a lot of probably context you're picking up midstream that doesn't make a lot of sense, but welcome. I'm actually getting really close to shutting this down. Yes, Doug, I know what you mean. 4.6 out of a Mustang. It's the heads. It's a much wider block, wider heads than these pushrod 5.0s, and it's a whole different ball game. Like I said, go check out. Just type in 3-valve 4.6 in Fairmont on Google or YouTube, and it's like it's a box top, and it's a blue color. Sweet car. It can be done, but I don't have the space or the resources to pull off a motor swap, and time. Like I want to get all this work done before the winter months, because I want to park my daily driver back in here. So these are the rules that I've set for myself because this is the life I want to lead. And I know to a lot of people they think I'm crazy, but that's why it's my project, I guess. So the cool ideas, like don't get me wrong, because like one of the current obsessions I have right now is I was obsessed with the 2011 to 2015 V6 Mustangs. They had 305 horsepower. I honestly, they call them that line of motors. It's the Coyote motor, and it's a fine piece of engineering work. Like what power the yes, Doug, this car is the same as a Mustang, a Fox body, but they stopped being Fox bodies when they started offering the 4.6 liter. Like they changed the platform in 1994, 94 and up, and actually the 94 they still had a 5 liter in the 94s, and then they switched to the 4.6 liter moving forward. So it's a whole different platform. It's trust me on this one. It's not a direct drop in. Ford Mavericks are the same, but there's just it's not. I don't know why I keep getting frustrated. I'm just repeating myself. I'm not doing a motor swap on this. So back to the 3 point. Like I said, that's not to say I haven't thought about doing it at all, but it's out of the cards. So the 3.7 liter Coyotes, 305 horsepower. I don't know what cubic inches that is, but the horsepower to cubic inch is just phenomenal. But the power that some of these guys are getting out of these 3.7 liters is just insane, and they actually sound really good. Like no 6-cylinder is ever going to sound, in my opinion, as good as a V8. But for a 6-cylinder, these suckers sound awesome. So I that's a little dream swirling around in my head. Again, maybe not the next build after this one, but 2 builds in the future. Maybe a motor swap will make sense. But I just don't have space to have a cherry picker anywhere. It's just not on the cards. Like I think what would be pretty wild would be a 3.7 liter Coyote. No, that's the 5 liter Cyclone motor. That's the trick. There is they both start with C, but the Cyclone motor in like a Pinto, I think that'd be pretty wild. And then maybe since the Pinto is a lot shorter than the Fairmont, maybe I could actually store in my garage a Pinto and an engine hoist in this garage. So anyway, they fold up. Yeah, I know. Go karts and fishing. I know that they fold up, but honestly, like, let me just show you how much space I have in this garage. So here's how much space I have between the front of the car and the workbench, and then here's how much space I have between the rear bumper and the garage door. So, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. But guys, I appreciate you dropping in. I've covered all I wanted to cover in this episode or this live stream. I certainly will be up for any questions if you have them. Yeah, I'd love a bigger garage, Brian. It's my wife and I are saving money for land right now, because we want to buy land straight up because we still have a mortgage on this house. We're in a townhome, but we do own our half. So we figure we would have better luck if we owned land outright. So when we go to a bank for a construction loan, whether we've sold this thing or not, it's easier to get that construction loan. I do want to sell this house, but that's what goes back to the whole concept of why I am not building a car for keeps right now. It's because I don't have the room to store it properly. I don't have the room to properly build it. And so, but I still wanted to scratch that itch and have a project car so I could get those skills. So, yeah, there's a million places to get a loan from, Brian. Farm Credit. I know a lot of people actually work at Farm Credit. I'm not, but I'm not going to need a loan actually for the land because we're buying it straight up in cash. But they're definitely a source I wouldn't mind doing business with at all for the construction loan. But yeah, we did a USDA loan for this facility. Um, it was the right choice for the right time. So again, if you guys have any questions, throw them out there. But I'm gonna probably try to just close it up here in a jiffy. Hey Juan, we'll see you later, man. Thanks for dropping by. And thanks everybody who's spent the time to be in here. I know for a while there was only two of us in here. I'm getting the battery warning anyway. Yeah, Johnson T, that's crazy. You know, like obviously we have different lives, you know, and it's easy to get like jealous of each other. Um, hey, thanks Brian for the like button reminder. Um, you know, it's easy to get caught up in the like, oh man, so and so has it so much better than me, and but the way I always try to view it is like, there's always gonna be someone out there who's got it better than you, but there's always gonna be someone out there who has it worse than you. There's likely no person in this world who has it the worst, and there's likely no person in this world who has it the best. You know, like it's just such a thanks, Jason. Such a relative term. So that's kind of how I look at it. Is I mean, yeah, I've got friends. Some of the videos of their stuff are on my channel who definitely had got to do this kind of work a lot sooner than I did. Didn't have to wait till they were 33. They got to have projects like this when they were like 19, 21, 23, you know, all that stuff. But it doesn't matter. Just don't let your dreams die, and make sure you make them happen, I guess is what I'd say. I just believe in dreams. Don't don't quit dreaming, and is the first thing. And even if it seems like a crazy dream, let's just say someone said someday I'd like to go to space. That's a fine one. It might be one of the hardest ones to ever pull off. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and probably listen to that person tell me they want to go to space. And be like, yeah, I don't know if you're ever gonna do it. But keep saying it, and definitely, if it's a dream, write it down. That's the number one thing I say. It's like, write it down. The minute you write it down, you automatically become more accountable to making that thing happen. So, I'm a big believer in that. And look, I've actually gone twice as long as I said I would. And yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Juan, that helps. It helps to hear that. Jason, yep, you're right there with me. Man, and now more people are rolling in. Um, it's easy for me to do these on Tuesday nights right now. As I'm told, it's the season-ending episode for um, Bachelor in Paradise. My wife, for some reason, likes to watch all those shows: The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise. So it's been great for me to get some free time in the in the shop in the garage on Mondays and Tuesdays because of that. But that looks like, I guess this might be the last week for a while. But guys, I'm out of things to talk about, and I don't want to just ramble on for rambling's sake. It's been good. Um, Thanks for stopping by, and it's really cool that it's picked up steam here at the end. But you know how it goes. Again, reminder. So a week from Friday is Know Your Neighbors with Po Boys Diesel. But until next time, let's see if I can figure out how to. Oh, there we go. Until next time, peace out.